What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to look at a couple of new Digimon cards. The daily reveals are going strongly. We are winding up to the release of Ultimate Power, and we've got a couple of cards today. We've got a Greymon coming, and we've got a War Greymon coming, and they're black. These are cards that we've seen before. We've seen multiples of these before, but they've always come through as red cards before. But then bear in mind, we did get the Toy Agumon through as a black card, so maybe we could have seen this coming. And with Agumon also appearing as a yellow card in this set, I think it's fair to say that the Agumon line as a whole, it's getting around, quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting around. Now, stop me if you've heard this one before, but our translation comes from the lovely Jason Snowjacks here. And these are both to do with the new keyword skill, Reboot. So let's start off with Greymon. It's a level 4. It is a 4 cost to play normally, 2 cost to evolve, 4,000 power. Nothing terribly different or exciting there. That's about right. And it's got an inheritable skill that reads, on your turn, when this Digimon has Reboot, this Digimon gains Jamming. Jamming, remember, is where you will not be destroyed by security Digimon, therefore you can go ahead and just attack the security knowing that you're not going to go down. It's a very good thing. But what is this whole Reboot thing? Well, Reboot is a new skill. It might be called Reactivate, but we're going to use Reboot. I'm cool with that. And it basically says that it makes itself active during your opponent's active phase. So generally speaking, on your active phase, you get to make your Digimon active. But Digimon with Reboot make themselves active on your opponent's active phase. Now that is of course incredibly important, because the general rule of Digimon, unlike in a tweet I sent out yesterday, says that you cannot attack active Digimon, you can only attack resting Digimon. So generally speaking, when you attack, you put yourself into rest mode, knowing that you are opening yourself up for your opponent to delete your Digimon next turn. So what you do instead here is you have a Digimon with Reboot, and then it makes itself active during your opponent's turn before they get the opportunity to attack. So, I mean, look, we had a look yesterday at RustTyrannomon that is able to attack Digimon that are active, but as a general rule, that's not something that Digimon can do. And sure, your opponent can always play a card like Flower Cannon, which will then allow them to put you into rest and then attack you. But these are all things that your opponent can do, but it takes effort and they may or may not pull it off, etc. Whereas here, you're basically saying, look, either you do pull something like that off, or you are not going to be in a position to delete my Digimon on your turn. This is a good thing. It adds wonderful protection. But remember that this Greymon doesn't actually have Reboot. It just has an inheritable skill that says, if you have Reboot, you also have Jammer. Now let's put the two of them together for a moment. Basically, what that means is that you're not going to be resting on your opponent's turn to be taken out. And you're not taken out in fights with security Digimon, which basically says that you're not going to be deleted by an opponent's Digimon, and you're not going to be deleted in a security attack, which is basically tantamount to saying that unless your opponent pulls some tricksy stuff, you're not being taken down. It is basically like making your Digimon invincible. Like, the two ways you get deleted are either being taken out by a Digimon when you're resting, which can't happen if you've got Reboot, or being taken out by a security Digimon, which cannot happen if you've got Jamming. Yes, obviously there are plenty of cards out there like Gaia Force, which will just delete a Digimon straight off the bat. And yeah, we got a million yellow cards out there like Seraphimon, for instance, which can lower power, and lowering power is not attacking, so you can do that to an active Digimon. So yes, there are other ways to take these Digimon out. They're not actually invincible, but they are significantly harder to take down. Greymon has nothing really going for it stats-wise. It is fine, but this inheritable skill is awesome. Then again, if we're going to have a Digimon that gives you an advantage if you've got Reboot. We're probably going to need a Digimon that has Reboot. In which case, might I introduce you to Metalgreymon, another Digimon we are used to seeing as a red card, but we can live with it as a black card. It has Reboot. Now, of course, if you've evolved it from Greymon, it has Reboot and Jamming, which is awesome. But even if you didn't, even if you just played it down normally, it has Reboot. Now, looking at the stats, it is a level 5. It is a free cost to evolve, which is standard. It has 7,000 power, which is alright for a level 5. Generally, the only Digimon we see with more power than this are the vanilla ones, like, for instance, RustTyrannomon, which is a vanilla card, so we would expect a little bit of a bump in power. For a Digimon with, well, both an inheritable and a non-inheritable skill, 7,000 power is very, very high. But you're paying for it because 8 cost to play a level 5. We'll put it this way, right? If we go and have a look back at New Evolution, there wasn't a single level 5 card where you had to pay 8 in order to play it. 8 instantly becomes basically the most expensive level 5 we've seen. So yes, you've got a couple of skills, and yes, you've actually got a really high level of power, but this is also the most expensive level 5 we've seen so far, so you are very much paying for it, literally and figuratively. But you've got high power, and you've got Reboot, and you've got an inheritable skill. Also worth pointing out that the evolution is not high here. And the inheritable skill says, during your turn, if this Digimon has Reboot, it gains security attack +1. Oh. Now, this is starting to get kind of silly. Because now, if you've got, let's assume you're going through this evolution line, right? If you've got Reboot, then you have Jamming, so you're not destroyed by attacks with Security Digimon. And you have Security Attack +1, so you're taking out 2 security cards, bearing in mind you cannot be taken out by security cards. No matter how much extra security attack you've got, there's always that terror, so to speak, that you are going to be taken out during your first security attack, and those extra security attacks are never even going to get rolling. That is going to happen here. And all of a sudden, this is starting to build up into a very, very impressive Digimon indeed. What we really need here are some nice level 6 black Digimon. Now, we've only actually seen one so far, and it's Machinedramon, and Machinedramon does not have Reboot. As sad as that is, I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen, Machinedramon doesn't have Reboot. We need a level 6 black Digimon that has Reboot. And you know it's coming, and you know it's War Greymon. Like, you know that if we've got a black Greymon and a black Metalgreymon, you know we're having a black War Greymon. That is a given, quite frankly. And you know it's going to have Reboot. Like, guaranteed it's going to have Reboot. Now, we don't know what the stats are. We don't know if there's any other skills, etc. But, I mean, come on. There's blatantly going to be a black War Greymon with Reboot. And we need to see what else it does before we can give a really strong opinion here. But the fact of the matter is, if you go up through the evolution here, and yes, it's expensive to play Metalgreymon normally, but it's not more expensive to evolve it, then you're going up normally, you're not paying a huge amount extra, and you're going to have a level 6 that has got Reboot, so it makes itself active on your opponent's turn, so it can't be taken out. And it has Jammer, so it can't be taken out by Security Digimon. And it has Security Attack +1, so it attacks 2 security at once, bearing in mind it cannot be taken out by said Security Digimon. And that is going to be nuts. And that's the card I need to see at this stage. I love these cards, but the fact of the matter is, these cards are only really good when you've got Reboot. Now, I will say that if you evolve into Metalgreymon from Greymon, then you do have a 7,000 power level 5 with Reboot and Jammer, and that is actually a really nice Digimon, but you need to evolve up so you're not paying over the odds. But even then, you're wasting that really nice inheritable skill. We need to see the War Greymon, and I'll say it one more time. We are getting a War Greymon. It is going to be black. It is going to have Reboot. I just really need to see what else it has, because this has the potential to be a very, very powerful evolution line. Make no mistake, Metalgreymon on its own is good, but you know that is not the end of the story. So now I'd like to hear from you guys. Do you think it looks as good as I think it looks? Do you think there is a huge amount of potential here? Does it look awesome? Does it look amazing? Do you agree with my War Greymon prediction? Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Me nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wossy. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun stuff. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.